So how does Futurama... How many times does Futurama need to attempt these sort of silly sitcom premises before they get it right in a third season as opposed to a second season?
Yeah.
And what does that look like? The answer, my friends, is Bendin in the Wind.
Yeah.
Now, this is a really funny
Festival
episode.
Of vaguely vaguely folkish alterna rock.
Yeah, like, I quite liked this episode as a kid, and I still really like it now. I just thought it was really funny as a kid, like so many funny and just sort of sometimes cruel jokes in this episode, but they're just so mean-spirited that they're funny. There's like a silliness surrounding it all, but you can't take it seriously as nasty as it is, you know, compared to the South Parks and Family Guys and Robot Chickens, which they also see around the same time.
Yeah.
Their meanness was just, I don't know, mean by comparison.
I saw a clip yesterday of like a Robot Chicken bit of like Bob the Builder, but it was like he was a scab, and so like these like Soprano-esque.
Oh, I've seen that. That is actually funny.
And I was just like, I don't know, the show just like the ideas are funny for a second, and then the scene goes on for like 2 minutes in every sketch of theirs. Yeah. And it's just like if there were only like 10-second sketches, they would be funny.
I remember that bit, and the reason I found it funny is because they had him actually swear Bob the Builder, like, well, they bleeped it out, but they would swear at the end. He just had Bob the Builder bleeped out. It's just fucking funny, because I've seen that when I was like a very little kid. You know?
Sure.
But anyway, like, this is a silly premise. You know, Bender finally achieving his dream of becoming a folk singer because he, via incident of a horrible accident, he becomes paralyzed, and his chest gets all cut up, but he happened by a chance encounter with the sort of folk rock musician Beck, who's just a head in a jar now, but they've gotten him a mannequin that he can at least stand upright upon.
No, he invents drunkenness whilst also transcending them.
Yeah. I'm not a big Beck. Beck's not showing up a mandala, sorry guys. No, but
the Grammy one that Kanye was all pissed about.
And he probably ought to have been. Like, Kanye's music around the time was quite good. What year are we talking? 2015? 16?
Yeah, I think it was like 15 or something.
Life of Pablo pisses on most albums that came out that year, in my opinion. Anyway, that's a different show. Anyway, you got this situation where Bender, given this little sort of harmonica neck arms, robot arms, and Bender attaches it to the back of his neck, and he's able to scrape it along his chest and becomes a very proficient and very visceral, exciting washboard player for Beck's band and a backup vocalist for some songs. And it's how stupid does that sound? It's a really funny and entertaining episode, particularly with this. Well, there's no subplot really. If there is a subplot, it's so connected to the main plot that it doesn't feel like one.
Yeah, it was them following him.
Yeah, Fry, Leela, Amy, and Zoidberg are groupies in one of those old Led Zeppelins Bender's been hearing so much about.
Yeah.
Or also known as one of those Jefferson Starships Leela's been hearing so much about. But no, it's a really funny episode, silly episode, but it's just one. But you appreciate it so much that, I guess a bit like That's Lobstertainment, classier than that. But it's just smooth. Like it's a fun character episode. You get to see Bender at some of his funniest, perhaps.
Yeah, it's like Bender in the hell is other robots after he cracks sort of Bender.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like ultra hedonist partying Bender because he's on like the rock and roll circuit or whatever. But combined with like Bender because he's injured being like sanctimonious, but like lording that over people at the same time.
Yeah, it's
really funny like that. And then obviously it doesn't just come out of nowhere, this whole episode. Like, it's such a silly premise. But obviously the Bender being a folk singer is a thing that was referenced a few times as well in the show.
Way back in the second episode.
Yeah, all the way back in season 1. And
he was singing Blowin' in... This episode's called Bendin' in the Wind. He was singing Blowin' in the Wind. That was the first folk song he ever sang, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would have been, probably, yeah. Yeah, it would have been.
And Luna Park.
Yeah, so it is, like, kind of crazy and bizarre that, like, a sort of just, like, you think... How does Futurama end up following around like a you know, jam band era 90s Bish Beck type, you know, festival revival circuit episode? Mm-hmm. But it does somehow make sense within the context of Bender and Futurama.
Yeah, like there's something about Futurama had this tendency to reference sort of Gen X music, whether it be the Beastie Boys or that kind of that college rock line that everyone loves.
Yeah.
Or the referencing the music documentary. You know, that's a #1 record. Like Futurama's pretty funny with its music references, and they did the jab at Huey Lewis in the same episode.
Yeah.
There's a very like, you can tell it's the kind of. It's like the writers of The Simpsons of their season 7 episode of Sonic Youth. It's like the same music taste. It's like that generation.
Yeah.
Because if you can split the first 8 seasons of The Simpsons into like 2 different sets of writers, like the first 4 seasons are sort of more boomer writers, and then the Gen X writers are more from like season 5, like Conan and Bill Oakley. Like that's more the next
the MTV
5 to
/Pepsi generation.
Yeah, and those are more the guys like Cohen who wound up on Futurama. You know what I mean?
Yeah, from their music references, that is true. And I guess that's how this episode works, because it does kind of feel... Like, yeah, even, you know, Cylon and Art Garfunkel's, like, great, whatever, grandson.
Yeah.
Doing the Scarborough Fair thing. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is a boomer reference.
Really cool.
But it's a very Gen X
the
take on
Battlestar Galactica was around, like, Gen X kids, so it was, like, the very early 80s.
Yeah, that's true.
That was just a Star Wars knockoff for television.
Yeah, I do forget that's after Star Wars for sure, yeah. Classic. Yeah, no, this episode's just kind of a really funny one. It's not one of these deep Futurama episodes. It's just, well, maybe kind of deep in the lore of Futurama, like its comedic lore, like, you know, of the folk references and things like that.
Little subplot, like this vague little recurring gag of Bender wanting to be a folk singer.
Yeah.
And his aversion to magnets, of course, as well. The can opener referenced way back from I Second That Emotion, at least, you know.
But yeah, really, like you said at the start of the recording, it is just a season 2 episode fully realised in season 3.
And we said that about Birdbot of Alcatraz and That Stops Entertainment as well.
Well, those ones definitely, but this one's like the sharpest yet.
Yeah, like this is a better version of, say, Raging Bender, or Bender Gets Made even.
Yeah.
Little honking.
Yeah. No, easily. This one's just sort of always been like a go-to classic for myself.
Yeah, solid
and
season
I assume
3 right here.
Yeah, for most Futurama fans. They probably know what we're talking about with this one.
Great gag. What is this? The ear of the jerk? Someone fatly under me.
And it's just like a caterpillar as well that's under the dragon.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of people.
Oh, it's glorious. This little visual gag is this sea lion on the on the combi at the end
when they float up from the bridge.
What's the combi? Combi.
Yeah, it's a combi.
Yeah. Oh God, and
the Billy.
No, under the seat, and just Bender in the hotel room. You know, just hands in the air around. Just don't care. You know, no, the rhyming dictionary. Remember who the star is? Me, Bender. No, I just like most of the lines in here are just funny. Patchcorn Adams.
Oh yeah,
fucking hilarious.
That's pretty cool.
Somebody please kick his ass. And God Almighty, Wailing Fungus. Just good stuff all around in here.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore.
Didn't expect that song to go for 3 hours, but we just got into a real thing there. That's not how the song ended. Anyway, I guess that's enough of me quoting the episode. Go watch it for yourself and see if it's as funny as we claim, assuming you haven't seen it yet. If you have, you probably want to watch it again.
I just assume everyone's seen this episode, who's ever lived.
Why not? As well. Well, if you haven't seen it, if everyone in the world watches it, we can make the world a better place. I'm just going to assume. I mean, it might work better than anything else we've tried so far as a species. So thanks again, everyone.